And other thing, it is unfortunate that Congress party is supporting these type of actions and getting Delhi into this mess. And lastly, I would like to say that what Mr. Vinod Mehta had said, that Aam Aadmi Party has created an exorbitant atmosphere in the in the mind of the people of Delhi, and they have, I think, unable to sustain the power. So I would like to tell them one couplet of Bashir Badr कि कागज का है लिबास चरागों के शहर में चलना संभल संभल के क्योंकि तुम नशे में हो.
Last question to Preeti Menon. Preeti, you know, during the entire Delhi campaign, Arvind Kejriwal says, there was this very controversial poster which was put up on auto rickshaws, if you remember. It said, अगर बेईमानों को दिया वोट तो महिलाओं का होता रहेगा बलात्कार. And at that time, in other words, if you vote for these crooks, the Congress party, then women will keep getting raped. And that time we had asked Arvind Kejriwal, why are you blaming the Delhi government? Because the Delhi government, does not control the Delhi police. And he says that's the most lame excuse. And all the AAP people said that's the most lame excuse we have ever heard. You cannot have the Delhi government say that just because Delhi police doesn't come under us, we are not responsible for it. How come the same excuse is now being heard from the Aam Aadmi Party? I mean, just to quote to you, on the Delhi tourist gang rape on 15 January 2014, Kumar Vishwas says, ask the central home minister, the Delhi police is under the center, not the state government, and it is unable to function effectively. So how different are you from the Congress party?
Kumar Vishwas said, you are misquoting Kumar. I spoke to Kumar. What Kumar said was that the Delhi police is under the central government, but despite that, we will take as much action as possible and we will ensure that the culprits get arrested. So play the full quote. What we have always been saying, that for 15 years,
have you taken,
could not get better governance, better safety for the women in Delhi. You want it from us in 15 days, so I'm really, really grateful that you think that we are so capable that we will do in 15 days what Congress failed to do in Delhi in 15 years and in this country in 65 years. Aam Aadmi is capable of doing fast work and it will happen. But as of now, Arvind Kejriwal is taking action. He has given
what
serious
action?
Instructions to the Delhi police, and he has promised serious action.
The Somnath Bharti, the law minister of Delhi, indicted by a court of law for tampering with evidence. Arvind Kejriwal defends him. Somnath Bharti calls a meeting of all judges, breaks all rules of conduct of the executive with the judiciary. Arvind Kejriwal defends him. Somnath Bharti carries out a midnight raid and tries to catch two women saying that they are prostitutes and says, I am personally catching a drugs and sex racket. Go and carry out a raid without a warrant. Arvind Kejriwal defends him. I don't know what action you are talking about. The only apparent thing which comes to me is that when it comes to your own, then Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is blind. When it comes to the AAP cannot take action against the AAP. I have not seen one single case where the AAP has admitted a fault of its own. That's also grace, isn't it, Preeti? You have to show that grace.
We are the only party.
Yes?
We are the only party that took away a candidate few days before the election because we found that there was something wrong in what he had told us or not told us. Okay, so
there is a person called there is a professor in JNU. There is a professor in JNU. There is a professor. There is a one Mr. Bharti. No, there is a. There is silly. No, there is a. There is a. I know. Okay, so if you are not silly, there is a professor in JNU who has tweeted quite recently, 4 or 5 or 6 months back, that all the groups in Kashmir must combine against the Indian state. That person is freely roaming around as a member of the AAP, attends press conferences of the Aam Aadmi Party. So I'm asking you, what action have you taken against that person who says all these groups should come forward together in Kashmir against the Indian state? Tell me.
I'm not aware of what you're talking about and who you're talking about.
No, unless the AAP agrees with that.
No, there is a professor called Professor Kamal Mitra. Kamal Mitra Chenoy has put out a tweet in June or so, May, June, July.
When Mr. Bhushan said what he did, Arvind said that is not the party stance, and we made it very clear that we do not believe in any of these.
No, so when have you ever taken any action? You see, Preeti, you can't be a free-for-all party.
We took away a candidate a week before elections. We won't be a free-for-all party, Mr. Goswami. We are here to do a serious job. We are here to shake up the system and change how the politics has been played. We are here to make the bureaucracy accountable.
You see,
we are here to get
Miss Menon, I like to go under the skin. I like to go into details. This is not about. I am not taken with this "let's shake up the system" kind of comments. I like to go into details. Yes, Vinod.
Arnab.
Yeah.
Arnab.
Yeah.
Arnab, I'd just like to tell Preeti that, you know, we are not hostile to the Aam Aadmi Party. I mean, the Aam Aadmi Party is a creation in many ways of the media and the support you got from the media. All we are saying to you that there are certain excesses, certain rough edges that need to be ironed out. And instead of fighting with the media, I think you should self-introspect and see where you have gone wrong and try. You are in for 5 years. You are only there. This is only 2-3 weeks. You are in for the long haul. If every 15 days this kind of thing happens, how will you govern? And the media is with you by and large. We are just saying, take a
No. 1 second. Vinod Mehta, let me clarify. I said this to Arvind Kejriwal almost 2 years back at a Times Literary Festival. When he said, after forming, he said, why have you stopped supporting us? Have you also sold out to the corporates, etc.? And I told Arvind Kejriwal very clearly this. You can say the media. I told him that, Mr. Kejriwal, we are not the media partner of the Aam Aadmi Party. Like we are not the media partner of the Congress. And we are not the media partner of the BJP.
As long as they do good work.
Yeah, but they should also now be clear that we will apply some scrutiny onto them. That's all. Yes, Sanjay, you wanted to say something? 2 minutes on this debate. Sanjay Jha.
We must. We are lapdogs. We are not. We are watchdogs, not lapdogs.
I just wanted to tell Preeti two things. I think self-righteousness and arrogance is an extremely toxic combination. I don't think the people will suffer it for too long. You know, it's one thing for us, you know, we have supported them, but I can tell you the people of Delhi are going to watch them very, very closely, as you rightly mentioned. And you can't afford to be constantly blaming the system, blaming mainstream political parties at your will, that you're going to create a revolution overnight by breaking and flouting all established norms of governance. If they think everything is wrong, then they need to fight an election again, get an absolute majority and do something about it. But right now they should have some degree of, you know, less of sanctimoniousness and less of arrogance. I think some humility will bring them down to earth. It is important that the media is asking them some questions now.
Now my last question is this, and this is a very simple question. After this we are wrapping up. Do you believe that any member of the Aam Aadmi Party can afford to have the view that groups in Kashmir must combine and fight the Indian state?
No.
And that person therefore should be thrown out of the party if he continues to hold these views?
No.
No, he can have these views.
I am not a person who takes decisions.
No, what is
there in the party?
No, you are a spokesperson of the party.
There are systems in place in the party.
No, you are a spokesperson.
I would like to add one more thing.
Yes, Sudhanshu.
Binayak Sen in there.
I will speak on behalf of the party, but action taken on individuals is not in my
No.
hand.
I am asking you whether one person in your, is it possible for any person in your party to have a view that threatens the sovereignty of India?
Absolutely not.
Then should that person, if he has such a view, be asked to be told what is your view, and if that is your view, you cannot be a member of the party?
If the person has such a view, it has to be investigated, and the action that has to be taken on him will be decided by the due mechanism.
So that person cannot have such a view and remain to be a member of the party.
But yes.
Even
I'm not saying that he cannot remain to be a member of the party or should be removed
so you
from
can
the party.
you can continue to be a member of the party even if you were to say there should be secession against India.
I am not saying either. I am not saying either. I am saying the party does not and will not allow anybody to talk about anything that damages the sovereignty of this nation.
No, but if people who believe that groups should come together against the Indian state can continue to hold these views and be members of the Aam Aadmi Party. I'm just clarifying. You want to fight a national election? I'm asking you.
No, they cannot.
They cannot.
The party does not support these views.
Not support, but can such people have these views? I'm not asking you whether the party, if the person may say...
Somebody in their individual private life have some view which I am not aware of. So, I cannot speak on their behalf.
Individually, you will allow your party...
I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, there are people in your party who have advocated that groups in Kashmir should come out against the Indian state. I'm very sorry. You will have to tell me tonight. You will have to tell me what your position is on it.
No, I will not have to.
Why?
My position on the sovereignty of the country is something which I can talk about.
Your party allows individuals to have that kind of point of view?
We will not encourage any secession from this country at all.
No, can individuals have that point of view? The Congress or the BJP?
We do not allow any party members to have a view that is against the constitution of this country.
Okay, I hold you on that. Sudhanshu Trivedi, yes. Okay, so you don't allow any individual. Then we'll have to ask those individuals. We'll have to ask those individuals if they've given up their view when they joined the Aam Aadmi Party, because I'm not sure. We'll have to ask them. Yes, Sudhanshu Trivedi, quickly.
Arnab, what you are saying has put several questions in front of this Aam Aadmi Party. Number one, their capability and commitment to the national integration. Number two, this event of Somnath Bharti is their capability of governance. And what happened in today, Mr. Vinod Bini's press conference, their capability of having political management. And fourth and most important, their alliance with one of the most corrupt party in their own words, with Congress, their honesty on the system. So their honesty, nationality, capability of governance and capability of political management in all aspects, Aam Aadmi Party is putting a serious question
give them time.
on their credibility.
Okay, Preeti, last word.
Here. I think I must say something. I think Tejinder Bagga is the only one who is writing speeches for everybody in BJP. Somebody needs to bring in variety. Even Mr. Jaitley earlier on your show was talking like Mr. Bagga. You need to talk a little more intelligently. You're a party of intellectuals.
Miss Preeti Menon, we have many more questions.
The senior and intellectual
for now,
leaders
wrap it up
learned much enough.
I'd like to thank you for joining me.
Thing of saying that Mr. Bagga is writing.
I'd like to thank you. I'm just noticing every word carefully. I'd like to thank you for joining me on the Newshour tonight. And before I go, I'd like to ask you this. Do you think the Congress party has avoided direct Modi-Rahul Kejriwal face-off by not naming Modi as the prime ministerial nominee? Why did the Congress party do that? Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. It's going to be a big day. Follow the AICC meeting. Live coverage with us from the morning. See you tomorrow 9 p.m. Good night and goodbye.